What's going on is Anton from antondaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. It's Friday, but my week is just now getting started because I got to do a lot of recording this weekend. You see the people mover over there? Let me show you the people mover. That's the people mover right there. So if I ever want to catch public transportation, I'll just walk right across the street, jump up on the people mover, take the people mover over to Woodward, take the queue line, be down in my office in less than 15 minutes. So it's dope and it's free. So free public transportation. It's pretty cool. But yeah, man, my week is just now getting started on a Friday because I got 2 days of recording over the weekend. I got to do multiple different shows. So we're going to be rocking out with Let's Rant About It with Randy. And then I got to catch a flight to go and do another show that I'm going to do next week in the middle of fact that I still got to do the same stuff that I was doing here, so the movement don't stop. I know a lot of people always talking about, oh, I can't wait till the weekend, they only work their 40 hours. I don't know nothing about that. I don't know where y'all get that from. I ain't never experienced that in my life. I'm not really sure that I've ever worked a 40-hour week. I can't remember in memory if I've ever worked a 40-hour week, but that's the difference. That's the difference. The difference is, if you want something different, then it's gonna have to come with a different type of sacrifice, and it's pros and cons to both. So you can sacrifice your time, and then that's when you start to take the money that you make from your time and you put it into your assets, and you stay down long enough, and then you benefit as a result of it, and then you go from there. I'm sorry, I forgot my glasses, so my glasses are still in the studio, and I don't want to take the glasses that I use here and down to the studio, so. Anyways, we just kicking it, we just having a good time. But that brings me to a bigger point about this CNN interview last night, or CNN interview that was recorded last night that's just being released in parts. First of all, I'm very disappointed in CNN. I'm incredibly disappointed in CNN for releasing this interview in parts because it's stupid. What up, big dog? I'm disappointed because they're releasing this thing in parts and it's stupid, right? And that they need to just drop the whole thing. But we're going to be reviewing it on the Millionaire Morning Show today, and that should be pretty cool. So we're going to dedicate the overwhelming majority of the Millionaire Morning Show today to Kamala Harris's CNN interview. But I did see a few things that I'm going to speak on because I like to review it in real time. But a couple of different things that I want to speak on. When they was breaking it up into parts, the first part that she talked about is, on day one, what would that look like, right? Well, before we even get to that, let me say a couple of other things. So, number one, I'm disappointed in the fact that they chose to break this up into parts because now when I was looking at it, the difference between part one and part two, it looked like it was scripted. Like it almost looks like, like they chopped it up and that it's not a full interview. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be an hour-long interview, but it's not. Because, first of all, she throwing her a bunch of softball questions. First questions that she asking her is, on day one, what would you do in office? And so she starts spewing the same stuff that she was spewing at the rally. Oh my God, I want to do an opportunity economy where, you can get a baby seat for your kid on their first day or in their first year and all of this other dumb stuff. And it's like, listen, bro, she's pitching this term opportunity economy, but let me tell you something. The opportunities that you're going to have is going to be based off of what you make for yourself. The president is not coming to save you. And I know a lot of y'all often at times say, well, I'm not voting. I don't like either candidate. You still should vote, dummy, because there's a bunch of other people that's down ballot that you also want to have a say in what happens, especially on a local level. You want to say what happens in your county and in your city and what type of millages go on. So when people say that, that's just the most ignorant thing that I've ever seen in my life. You always supposed to participate. And as a matter of fact, you're supposed to know more about what's happening in your city and what's being proposed than what's happening on the national scale. What happens on the national scale is very important. Don't get me wrong, it's incredibly important. Obviously, we've seen that from the pandemic and a whole bunch of stuff that's happening and over the last 3.5 years and them raising interest rates and all of this stuff in order to try to tamp down inflation. We know that matters. But more importantly, what happens on a local level is way more important than what happens on a national level. And so Chicago just basically said that they got a $1 billion budget deficit as a result of becoming a sanctuary city in the migrant crisis. And y'all still talking about, oh man, I don't want to participate in the process. That's why y'all got who y'all got. That's why y'all had Lori Lightfoot the first time for diversity, equity, and inclusion. And they brought her in because they said, hey, listen, that's my car. They said, hey, listen, I had to wait for valet to bring my car. We want to vote her in based off of this. And I'm like, what up? And they said, and I'm like, why would y'all vote somebody in based off of the fact that they gay or they black or they a woman? And so she had three things working for her, and they got her the fuck up out of there in her first term, after her first term. And now y'all got Brandon Johnson, which is even worse. All right, I appreciate you, big dog. There you go, man. Thank you, bro. Just YouTube. That's it. Yeah, I mean, I got real estate and all of that other stuff too, but it's easier for me to just say YouTube. Yep, so just my name, Anton Daniels. Yep, you real estate, software engineering, stuff like that. So, yep. So that's what all I do. I appreciate you, big dog. Thank you, man. But yeah, so y'all got to be careful, man, and y'all got to participate in the process and the voting process and what happens, because what affects you on a local level is much more impactful than what affects you on a national level. And you know, based off of what I'm seeing from this president, you know, and what's happening and all of this dumb pitch for the opportunity economy, it's silly. It's dumb as hell. And a lot of people will sit there and say, oh man, you know, the opportunity economy, she seems like she's more for the middle class. She gonna say some dumb stuff like, I don't want to be as divisive and I want to bring the country together. What the fuck does that mean? We tired of money going over to Israel. We tired of money going to Ukraine. We tired of immigrants coming over into this country. As far as what I could see so far, first of all, CNN fumbled this completely. And she brought her babysitter, Tim Walz. I don't know why he was sitting there. He was just sitting there like a father that was trying to oversee and make sure that his daughter didn't say the wrong thing. That's number one. And then number two, they didn't ask her any real questions. They didn't press her on nothing. You know, she didn't really address what happened with immigration and why they let so many people over into this country. And so we're going to break it down. We're going to see it and we're going to go into it. But more importantly, y'all got to get involved in the process, because it's one of the reasons that the country is in shambles the way that it is now. 100%. And so, you know, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. We got a lot of work to do this weekend, so that should be very interesting. And then last but not least, make sure that y'all get that Teach Hanley 40% off your first order plus 20% off of life. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are the greatest audience on earth. And we're going to get there. We're going to get there. We're going to work on it. We're going to grind. We're going to hustle. And we're going to run up a bag. All right? I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to see y'all for the Millionaire Morning Show. Let's review this.